Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
After a weekend slumber, the Rays offense woke up just in the nick of time Sunday. And a shot deep into left, and the Rays have a walk-off. Steven Souza Jr. Tonight, Tampa Bay opens a pivotal two-game set versus Chris Sale and the AL East leading Boston Red Sox. Tonight, the Rays continue their homestand. The Boston Red Sox come calling for a short two-game set. And the Rays, 113 games in, are 5.5 back of Boston in the East, running third in a virtual tie with Kansas City for the second wild card spot. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. We'll hear from Alex Cordry in just a few moments. Well, the Rays came away from their recently completed series against Milwaukee with a much-needed win, and Steven Souza Jr. was the guy to do it. And when you look over the past month plus, it's really not a surprise.
Not at all. Steven Souza Jr. having a career year, and he has been consistent and an offensive force for this team all season long. But you're right, Dwayne. You go back to the beginning of July, and these are the categories that he leads the team in. He's got 9 home runs, the on-base percentage of .376, so still willing to take a walk. And then that slugging percentage, you start to factor in the extra base hits, the doubles, 3 game-winning RBIs, and that being the one on Sunday that would get the Rays back into the win column as they head into this very important series. He has been a force, like I said, all year. But I'll tell you what, tough assignment tonight because you're going up against one of the most dominant starters in Major League Baseball in Chris Sale. American League ranks this season tied in wins, tied in ERA, 216 strikeouts. That leads Major League Baseball. He's deceptive, he's got elite stuff, and he knows how to pitch.
Well, perhaps another David and Goliath story. It was Austin Pruitt who squared off against Dallas Keuchel in Houston, handing him his first loss. And tonight he goes up against Chris Sale. Alex Cordry with more on that in a moment.
Sox today and tomorrow, just a few weeks after taking 3 of 4 from Boston just before the All-Star break. And Tampa Bay sends Austin Pruitt to the mound. The righty shined in his last start, shutting down one of the best offenses in all of baseball. And he'll look to keep it going tonight because Pruitt was sharp. He finished the night having allowed no earned runs on 5 hits with 3 strikeouts and just 1 walk in a career-high 6 1/3 innings pitched, while handing Dallas Keuchel his first loss of the season. Skipper Kevin Cash remains confident in the young right-hander and expects another solid outing.
It's huge, yeah. You kind of walk around and you just feel better. You got more confidence in the way that you go about your business a little bit, and I think that's everything, really.
We've seen the progress that he made coming back up. He's gotten himself much more in the zone. He's much more in line with attacking hitters from pitch one, rather than, at times, and a lot of young pitchers do this. There's a learning curve of falling behind and then trying to throw your stuff over. These big league hitters, if they're ahead in the count, they're going to make you pay eventually. And Austin, what allowed him to have so much success against Houston, and that's a very, very good lineup, is he was an attack from pitch one.
And we'll see what Pruitt has in store for an encore this evening as this quick 2-game series between the Rays and Red Sox about to get underway at the Trop. It's an AL East showdown swinging your way next on Fox Sports Sun, your home for Rays baseball.
Tonight, the Rays take on the Boston Red Sox in the first game of this 2-game set, middle series on this 9-game homestand. Starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Eduardo Nunez leads it off, followed by Dustin Pedroia off the DL. He'll DH. Benintendi hits third. Betts the cleanup man. Rafael Devers is at third. Bogarts at short. Mitch Moreland at first. Leone catches. Jackie Bradley Jr. hits ninth to play center. All set for baseball. First pitch, and it's a fastball foul back. Strike one underway at 10 minutes past the hour. Nunez in 9 games with Boston, hitting .400 with 4 home runs. Shoots it into right field. Souza toward the corner. That will short hop the wall. A double. In at second ahead of the throw for Nunez.
Well, Eduardo Nunez not wasting any time. He has been something else for these Boston Red Sox. Is coming over in a deal and a leadoff double there off of Austin Pruitt. You see his season numbers, making his 4th start. Record 6-2 in the ERA, but that last outing again in Houston, tons of family and friends in the stands going up against the best offense in Major League Baseball, and he goes 6 1/3 scoreless. That was quite the outing here for Austin Pruitt, and looking to build off that here tonight.
Now Dustin Pedroia serving as the designated hitter, man in scoring position to start this game, and Pedroia just off the disabled list. He had some problems with his left knee, some inflammation in there, and that sent him to the DL. Right side for the ground ball. Robertson makes the play. Nunez goes to third.
We're playing a little small ball there, get him over, and now let's see if the Red Sox can get him in. But before we do that, let's look at the Rays defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in that outfield left to right, we have Malik Smith, Peter Borges, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Trevor Plouffe, Adeiny Echeverria, Daniel Robertson, and Logan Morrison, with Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
And the Rays will pull that infield in with a man at third and 1 out here in the first inning. Knowing with Sale on the mound, each run will be very important in this game. There's a strike to Andrew Benintendi.
We talked about Kevin Cash is going to be managing this team aggressively as far as the pitching goes, but he's going to manage aggressively all around, and this is the first example. 1 out in the first inning, infield in. You don't see that often.
Pitch down, 1-1. You mentioned small ball. Recently, the Red Sox hitting for more power, but for a big part of the year, this has been sort of an anti-Red Sox offense. And a little bit more toward a small ball type of approach. 2-1 the count.
They've been very good with runners in scoring position. They're third in the American League in stolen bases, but dead last in the long ball. And there has been an uptick here recently, but that a little bit different look than we've seen from this team.
That's a roller and just foul outside of first. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. While we're on the topic, averaging 4.76 runs a game. Team batting average second in the league, last in home runs, fourth in on base percentage, and with men in scoring position, third. And Benintendi down to third. The throw from Plouffe to Morrison. And so Nunez still at third now with 2 outs.
The ability to get the ground ball, and you get a chopper. It's right at Trevor Plouffe. Benintendi tries to go the other way with the off-speed delivery, and that's as easy as it's going to get at this level for Trevor Plouffe. And now you're 1 out away.
You put men on base against this lineup, and it's a challenge. Benintendi came in hitting .341. He's out third to first. And here's Mookie Betts with men in scoring position, hitting .404. That's tops in the league. Takes a pitch for a strike in the upper reaches of the zone. And a little tap foul. So the count is 0-2.
Austin Pruitt in this situation here, he did it with Benintendi. He's doing it here with Betts. Everything that he's throwing has a little bit of a wrinkle in it, whether it's the curveball, his little slider, you can almost call it a cutter.
Up and away with a fastball. 1-1.
And that was more of a show fastball. That's just a, hey, look, here's my fastball. Speed a guy up a little bit. That's what you're talking about, Dwayne. You've got two of the top in the game.
Now the 1-2 pitch. And he goes down with that one. Breaking pitch. 2-2.
That right there was tremendous pitch recognition by Mookie Betts, because that breaking ball by Austin Pruitt stayed in the zone for a long time. That's the one you see guys swing and miss at and chase out. Betts somehow laid off.
2-2. He got it. And a great job by Pruitt. A little sharper break there on that cutter or slider, whatever you want to call it. And the Rays get out of that jam. Bottom of the first coming, no score. And here's the starting lineup put together by the Rays tonight, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Peter Borges will lead it off, followed by Trevor Plouffe, and Evan Longoria will DH. Logan Morrison, who has pretty good numbers against Sale, is the cleanup man, followed by Steven Souza Jr. and Wilson Ramos. Adeiny Echeverria hits 7th. Daniel Robertson is in there at second base, hitting 8th. And Malik Smith will bat 9th and play left field.
Well, the Rays facing one of the top starters in all of Major League Baseball, and Chris Sale making his 23rd start, 13 wins, 270 earned run average. How about 216 punch-outs and 153 1/3?
Well, he's leading the major leagues in the strikeout department. And the first pitch to Borges is a ball. Borges starts the night hitting .236 and pops it up. Foul ball coming straight back and out of play.
Well, the other thing that the Rays are going to have to contend with tonight is you're going to have an extremely motivated Chris Sale coming off of a rough outing against the Indians. They got him for 5 runs in the first 2 innings of that start. And you get guys like Chris Sale and his pedigree. They have a start like that, and the next team is going to have to really work.
There's a line on him. 5 innings, 7 runs, and a no decision for him. First time that Sandy Leon did not catch him. He had a balky knee that night and did not catch him. Borges behind in the count, 1-2.
Guess whose knee's feeling pretty good tonight?
Yeah, there's something to that, and you well know, pitchers and catchers sometimes just develop this rapport, this comfort level. Borges checked in time. Boy, you've got to get it started in a hurry up there, and that fastball up and away at 97. Borges managed to check in time.
Chris Sale's one of the few guys in the game that can combine elite stuff with the ability to pitch. He knows how to set a hitter up. He doesn't get caught with one like that right there.
How about that? That's just not fair.
And here's the thing. The previous pitch, what, fastball up and away, and he go after it, doesn't get the, he checks his swing. So, how about I'll start a breaking ball in the same area. I'll start it away off the plate. He gives up on it and breaks it right to the middle. That's pitching. And that's something that Chris Sale can do. I mean, he mixes the fastball, that sweeping slider. He's got a good changeup that he's not afraid to use.
There's a first pitch strike to Plouffe.
And there it was. First pitch changeup, second hitter of the game.
Yeah, interesting for a guy who throws as hard as he does, and with that slider, also will use that changeup as much as he does.
Well, and that's what makes him elite. I mean, like elite, because he's got 3 very good pitches, elite pitches. And then he mixes them, and he mixes them very, very well. So, a lot of guys that have elite pitches, they may be heavy on the fastball and certain, heavy on the slide. He mixes and matches with 3 elite, and that's why you're staring at one of the best. I mean, you're talking about Sale and Kershaw as far as lefties go in this game.
Yeah, and 2 of the winningest pitchers. Kershaw has 15 wins to lead the major leagues, and Sale with 13. He and interestingly enough, Jason Vargas, there's strike 3 call to Plouffe. Fastball there. So out of all that mix, and then you're caught looking at a fastball at 97.
Yeah, and both strikeouts looking. That one was absolutely canted. Let's look at the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts. And across that infield, third to first, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, Eduardo Nunez, and Mitch Moreland. Sandy Leon, of course, behind the plate.
Evan Longoria DHing tonight and rolls it down to first. Moreland with the toss to Sale. 2 strikeouts and a ground ball. We're at the end of an inning. No score. Ball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your local Ford dealers and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. On to the second inning. Austin Pruitt, the 27-year-old right-hander on the hill for the Rays. Rafael Devers leads it off for Boston. Taking the pitch down. He's off to a great start since his recall from the minor leagues. 11 games, 3 homers, hitting .349. And a ground ball right side handled by Robertson, and his throw to first. 1 away.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Rafael Devers. We see this a lot. A guy comes up, gets off to a great start, banging the ball around the field, and then all of a sudden the league starts to make the adjustment. Right now, trying to find out what Devers does well, and they'll adjust from there. So that'll be an interesting, because the Rays are going to see an awful lot of the Red Sox down the stretch. See exactly how the attacks against Devers change up.
Here's Xander Bogaerts, the Boston shortstop, hitting .280, and the pitch is a strike.
Slumping a little bit here recently, and still hasn't really gotten it going in the power department. Just 6 homers on the season.
Did he go? Rays want the appeal and the check. 1-1. There's a look from the right side. Game close, very close.
Into that gray area where it really could go either way.
Now 2-1. Well, one thing we've seen out of Pruitt, he likes to get the ball and throw it. And we know that's the case with Chris Sale. Sale pitches on double time. Down to third. Kloof up with this one. That'll be out number 2.
You know, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, me neither. I've never really figured that out.
Neither have I. I mean, I know I had my own. I don't know the way that I like to pitch. I mean, just get the ball. You know what pitches you want to throw. You really let a pitch go, and you see the hitter react, and you know what the game plan is. You see that reaction. You know what you want to go to next. I don't see why you have to wait for it. And I'll tell you, the guys that play behind you in the field, they love it too.
Here's Mitch Moreland. Fastball away, 1 ball, no strikes.
You want to dictate the action, Dwayne, but you want to dictate it in a good way, in a positive way for you and your team.
Yeah, you want to dictate in a benevolent way.
Yes.
2-0 the count.
You don't want your infielders with sore feet, stiff lower backs.
Fly ball to center, all the way back goes Borges, and he's there in front of the track to take care of that. We're through an inning and a half, no score. Forces Network, now in its 75th year of broadcasting to American military personnel overseas and in more than 170 countries and naval ships at sea. Welcome to those watching tonight. We thank you and salute you for your service. Rays are facing the tough left-hander Chris Sale. 13-4 on the year. A couple of 17-win seasons in his career under his belt with the White Sox. Last year 17-10. Back in 12 he was 17-8. And here's Logan Morrison taking the first pitch for a ball. Logan 5 out of 17, or 5 for 12 in his career against Morrison, with a home run. Sends it into center. Bradley Jr. is there to make the catch.
And I remember that home run. That was at Fenway Park, and it was off of a changeup of all pitches. And that's the other thing. Chris Sale not afraid to throw that changeup to, obviously, to righties, but even to the few lefties that he's going to face in the lineup. And Logan Morrison guessed correctly and shot that ball out of there. And I'll tell you, the rate.
Here's his pitch breakdown.
I mean, it goes to exactly what we've been talking about. And this is a guy who mixes all three pitches very, very well, doesn't become too predictable.
Steven Susie Jr. takes the first pitch outside.
And when you have a breakout like that with 3+ pitches. Oh, and some deception too. I mean, he is all limbs, and he'll get those things flying, windmilling towards you. Lowers the arm angle just a little bit.
And then the fastball, a little bit extra on that one. Got fastball, slider, fastball. Just all out of that same area, too.
And then he's not. And by the way, he'll pitch to both sides of the plate. Already saw him with the fastball for a strikeout in. Tried to go there. That's just a mislocation. But when you have the elite stuff, sometimes you can miss and still get away with it. That was a great example when you see Sandy Leon set up in, and this pitch ends up and away. Watch Sandy Leon jump in. It's up and away. He's got to reach for it. You still get the punch out.
3 strikeouts in the first 5 hitters he's faced. Here's Wilson Ramos. How about that?
That ball started 2 feet off the plate.
Strike 1. Wow.
Well, like I said, he's not real happy with how his last start went. Understands it's a big deal.
Fly ball into left, and intended to his left. Grabs it, and it's a 1-2-3 second. We go to the third, no score. Tropicana Field tonight. Rays turning back the clock Saturday when they play the Cleveland Indians. First 15,000 fans in attendance get a chance to join the Retro Rays when they receive a mystery retro replica jersey of one of your favorite Rays players, presented by GTE Financial. Visit RaysBaseball.com today. Rays up.
I'm going to be real interested to see how that turns out, because that you have that picture of that jersey. It would seem to me that it would no longer be a mystery.
If you're showing a picture of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll be first in line to see how that rolls out.
Replica, it's a mystery. And a player jersey, or is it one specific player jersey that's going to be the retro? And is that the mystery?
You're going to have to come.
Yep.
You're just going to have to show up and grab yourself one. I know I will.
2 strikes here on Sandy Leon, and strike 3 called. Fastball right down there at the knees, and Leon walked right away from the plate.
There's been so much from Austin Pruitt's, well, his pitches here tonight, whether it's the slider, the breaking ball, not too much straight. And right here, Sandy Leon obviously looking for something else, because that is just a 91-mile-an-hour heater right down the middle.
Now the number 9 hitter, center fielder Jackie Bradley Jr. And he taps it by the mound. Charged, scooped by Robertson, and the quick little toss to first. Bradley Jr. is out of there.
You know, you've got 2 pitchers here tonight that are working quickly, pounding the strike zone, and forcing these offenses to be aggressive early. I mean, what is it, 1987?
Or it could be 1977. That little chop right there, nicely done by Robertson. But you're right, these guys both are around the plate.
Yep. Listen, their first pitch strike percentage, both of them right under 66%. That's pounding the zone. And of course, that's going to lead to, you know, a heavy percentage of swings on the first pitch, which they both have. If you're getting those pitches to quality locations, you're going to get some quick and easy outs.
Eduardo Nunez taking a strike. He doubled to open this game, and he's been the only hitter to reach base so far. 2 outs, top of the 3rd. And a near miss right there. Still a ball. 1-1. A foul ball. 1-2. Boston in, winning 8 of their last 9. 14 games over 500, which represents their season's high. Liner into center. That's going to drop. Couple of hops out there towards his soft line drive. Nunez stuck his bat out there and made contact.
Yeah, that's it. You know, Austin Pruitt, you're trying to miss barrels and get hitters out of rhythm, and that's exactly what he did right there to Nunez. He got him reaching, and he got the ball off the end of the bat. You see right here, the timing starts to go bad, but you got to give credit to Nunez to putting that ball in play and giving himself a chance. He just swatted it out into center field.
Yeah, and some bees in that bat.
Yes.
Transferring right into the hand.
Yes. Now keep your eye on him too.
Pitch is a strike call to Pedroia. Yeah, Nunez has been frisky since coming to the Red Sox. He's been getting on base frequently. He's stolen 3 bases in 3 attempts. Can play all over the place. Second base tonight with Pedroia just off the DL and DHing. So Pruitt pays him a little mind over there.
Yeah, you should, because both of these pitchers are locked in right now, and so you start to think, well, that's why the Rays brought the infield in the first inning. Runs at a premium, and so you're going to have to create something. And so Nunez, you think about his, you know, his situation, the change from the team that he came from to where he's at now.
That's a strike. 0-2.
You go from way out of the race to all of a sudden to a team that's leading the division.
Yeah, it could get to be a long season, you know, long about August, and suddenly you're dealt to a contender.
Yeah.
Whole new lease.
If that doesn't put a hop in your step, nothing will.
Can to first, closer that time. Tony Randazzo on the call, and that was very close.
Yeah, let's see if there was a lean there by Nunez, because he ended up a little delayed in getting back. Nope, he just got caught flat-footed there for a split second. Oh, they got him.
I think they got him.
I mean, if that's contact, he's out.
Yeah. Will the Rays have?
Oh boy, I'd take a look at that.
Enough. Yeah, they want that looked at.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
No. No.
So they'll take a look. There was that slight hesitation on the part of Nunez before he started to get back.
Yeah, assuming that glove right there is on the forearm, he is absolutely out, which is why it looked like Eduardo Nunez had seen a ghost down there when he got back to his feet. I think he knows.
So Mark Wegner, the crew chief, along with Tony Randazzo, in communication with the center in New York as they review this play. The Rays challenge it. After visiting that center up there, they have a number of different shots to take a look at, and frequently it'll come down to one or maybe two clips to determine from the different angles. And angles play a big part of it, because at the end of the day it's still two-dimensional.
Yep.
The screen is two-dimensional, so they need angles.
And so that looks good there, but was that glove on the, you know what I mean? I mean, have you seen anything conclusive yet? There you go. They did.
They did. Good enough. So a pickoff of Nunez, and we're going to go to the bottom of the third. Still no score. Toyota inside look, just to give you an idea who and what the Rays are up against tonight. Chris Sale, he's first in all of these categories in the American League. starting with wins, the most important category.
Right. I mean, you look at the strikeouts, the whip. He limits base runners. I'll tell you what, no one can beat his opponent's batting average against of 16. Well, there we go. 196.
196. Those are up to date.
I mean, as of now.
Yes. 0-2 here, a foul ball. Echeverria leading it off. Adeiny Echeverria, the Rays shortstop. He has a couple hits in his career off Chris Sale. He's 2 for 6. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hitting .250 since coming to the Rays. And he lifts it foul, out of play.
I think you would take that too. You know, with what he gives you defensively, you want to hit .250.
Yep.
Get some big hits and some big spots.
Yeah, he is a big reason the Rays are in contention. And he really was the first of what turned out to be a plethora of moves the Rays have made to try to advance their cause here in the last 2 or 3 months of the season.
Great word. And you're absolutely right. I mean that sent the message early on that management said we're going for it.
Well, we checked in time. The count is 2-2.
That was one of those deals too where it just kind of came out of nowhere. There was no buildup. It was just all of a sudden, hey, this guy could be available, and the Rays are pretty close to getting this thing done, and before you know it, here he comes.
A couple pretty good takes here by Echeverria on those last 2. And he fouls it back, so he's seen as many pitches in this at bat to lead off the 3rd as Sale made total in the 2nd inning. It's an 8-pitch at bat.
Beyond quality. And on the verge here, he may be pushing Sale to a leadoff walk. Certainly has pushed him in the pitch count.
And a little tapper right side, well off the bag, Moreland, and Sale over to cover. Well, you talk about a need to, number one, catch up, but defend the strike zone against this guy. I mean, you're under siege all night long in that batter's box with Sale on the mound.
Yeah, you've got to formulate a plan of attack against him, and up until 2 strikes, stay as disciplined as possible, because if you go up there looking to cover everything, you will cover nothing.
You know, that's another thing. You're talking about how quickly these 2 pitchers work and why you wouldn't work. A pitcher has an opportunity to have the hitter under siege all the time.
You set the pace.
Exactly. So why you wouldn't? It's beyond me. A check swing foul ball to Robertson.
I mean, unless you're just interested in more airtime, I really don't know why you would do it. You know, slow some things down. Maybe if you're one of those guys where the game starts to speed up on you, maybe you need to slow it down a little bit. But we see slowing it down take it to another level, where you're like a guy, you're a fastball, you know, your fastball breaking ball guy. Let's go. Let's go. It's one or the other.
1-2 on Robertson.
How about it?
Yeah, you don't want to get to 2 strikes, but you can't help it.
Attack early. Attack early.
This one is down. That's exactly right. And you know, when you look, he's given up 13 home runs, and over half of those have come with 1 or 2 pitches into an at bat.
Makes perfect sense. He's going to try
to miss.
Yeah, he's going to try and get ahead of you. You know that, so you go up there, and you also are going to tend to be more aggressive with him, because he does 66% of the time first pitch strikes, and you know the numbers with 2 strikes. So if you know he's a strike thrower and what he does with 2 strikes, why would you ever allow him to get there if you can help it? So you're going to attack early, and if you do, then you got a chance. How about that?
How about this for the Rays the last month on the first pitch?
Led by Evan Longoria.
I mean, we talked about his approach. You know, you look at his numbers month to month at pitches per plate appearance. He really cranked up the heat as far as aggressiveness goes.
And month by month, his numbers have gone up and up and up and up. Pop to the left side. That will be caught by Bogarts. 3 up, 3 down, 9 in a row, and we go to the 4th. No score.
We have some injury updates for you, starting out with some very good news about right-hander Matt Andriese. He threw a live 3-inning bullpen session today. Manager Kevin Cash says he looks really good, and he could begin a rehab assignment as early as this weekend. For Rays center fielder Kevin Kiermaier, his hip and lower back are feeling better, but Cash does not expect Kiermaier to return to action during this homestand as he remains shut down from baseball activities. Dwayne?
Yeah, it's too bad about Kiermaier because he there early was on a pretty good pace to get back. Well, it would be within the span of this homestand. Not going to happen now. It's fouled out of play by Pedroia. 1-1 the count. And there's Matt Andriese, and we know how important a role he had on this pitching staff.
And you certainly hope that, you know, all that news is good, feels good tomorrow, can start that rehab assignment and pitch his way and get back here as quickly as possible.
Pedroia behind in the count, 1-2. Another news regarding the Rays pitching staff. Alex Cobb on the disabled list. Says he's not overly concerned with that. And the Rays recalling Blake Snell. So that was a quick turnaround for Snell because of Cobb going on the DL.
They said he turf toe kind of flared up and started to bother him his last start. I can't imagine that. That's not fun either way. If you're looking at pushing off or landing, couldn't have been a very comfortable start for Alex, and hopefully that's just a short-term deal.
Well, knowing Cobb, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, tough guy. And you know he wants to be out here this time of year.
Yes, absolutely. 3-2 the count. And a little bit wide right there. And a leadoff walk sends Pedroia to first.
Now you go back to work, and you remember the trouble that Austin Pruitt was in the first inning, leadoff double, and then followed that up by making some tough pitches and getting 2 ground balls. He could use one of those right here.
Benintendi grounded to third his first time. pitch is a strike. Pedroia aboard over there again, just off the disabled list, and he had some knee inflammation that sent him over there on the DL. There's a strike. 0-2. Fourth start of the year for Pruitt in a Rays uniform. 21st appearance overall. Up the middle, base hit, low liner. And the Red Sox have 2 men aboard. An 0-2 pitch. Benintendi is aboard now.
And you hate to give up those hits, especially a hard hit ball in an 0-2 count, but Andrew Benintendi is able to stay on this curveball, and I'm sure that Austin Pruitt wanted that ball maybe on the plate but below the zone and never quite got there, and Benintendi did a nice job of using the middle of the field.
Well, Mookie Betts becomes the hitter. 2 on, nobody out. Hitting over 400 to start the night with men in scoring position. Shows the bunt, takes the pitch. It's a ball.
I think I'd be pretty happy with Mookie Betts putting a bunt down.
'69 runs batted in on the year, reflecting how good he's been with men in scoring position. Showing the bunt again, and he fouls it this time to Devers, who's on deck.
Well, here's that small ball once again. You get Mookie Betts in the middle of the lineup, first and second, laying down bunts or attempting to lay down bunts. The identity of your team has drastically changed from a year ago.
This is not your grandfather's Boston Red Sox approach here. And he shoots this one up the right field line. That ball is a foul ball. It was dangerous there for a while and sliced to the foul side of the pole.
Strike 2.
Yeah.
That's what you got to think if you're Austin Pruitt. Strike 2.
Take a look at this. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How close that was. Enough English by Pruitt to have it go foul.
Yeah, I mean, his 6-inch lean, and it was 6 inches foul. It's about right.
So now it's a 1-2 count. First ball wide, 2-2. The rookie Rafael Devers is on deck. Ground ball short. Echeverria out at second. Throw to first. Safe there. Rays get an out. That ball coming up on Echeverria. He had to battle that. They got the force at second. And Robertson tried to turn it as quickly as he could. Safe at first, the call.
Watch this ball, how quickly it gets into Echeverria. Kind of knocks him back and delays the throw just ever so slightly. And that's enough time to allow Betts to get down to first base. Watch this ball take an aggressive hop up, knock Echeverria back, then he starts it. Betts was there.
One out with men at first and third, and here is Devers. outside. Off speed to start him.
Trying to go off speed to get the aggressive young Rafael Devers out in front and over the top. Roll something over, try to get a ground ball here and get out of this inning.
Keeping an eye on Betts. He's 17 of 20 running. Devers out of the Dominican Republic, and right now the youngest active player in the major leagues. Three home runs. You saw there the youngest since Tony Conigliaro in Red Sox history. It's a little close. 2-0. Pedroia at third, Betts at first. Fouls it back. 2-1. Devers' first hit in the major leagues was a home run to center field in Safeco Field.
That's a poke.
Little tap back to the mound. Out at second, but they can't get the throw away. The throw was to the shortstop side. Echeverria got the force. The run scored. Little tap back to the mound, and with that, the Red Sox get a run.
Let me tell you something. When you get these comebackers, you realize as a pitcher, it's up to you now, and you can start this and get it done. And Austin Pruitt right there gets rid of that ball a little too quickly, and you can see he pulled it over to that shortstop side, and Echeverria, a little slip right there, recovers though, and then rushes the throw. Echeverria then has to go down. No chance to throw that ball to first base, and Austin Pruitt, I guarantee you right now, is kicking himself over that one.
Xander Bogaerts. That's a strike. Yeah, he had the double play to get out of the inning right in front of him.
That's it, and that's all you're thinking. That is like the Christmas come early, really. Ground ball right back to you, and you know if you turn and make the throw, the inning's over. It's just that didn't happen.
Foul right back over the screen. 0-2.
The other thing that's interesting too is those throws can be tricky. And a lot of times you'll see a pitcher even take a little bit of a crow hop because he comes off the first base side of the mound and fields that ball, turns, and now he's throwing off of an angled slope. It's a slope that you're not used to throwing off of. You're used to throwing downhill. Now watch him off to the side. So this can affect footwork right here. You turn, you're not used to throwing. He's throwing like almost facing downhill, and you overcompensate, you end up pulling the throw. It can be some tough footing. That's why you work on that in spring training to the point that you're like, yeah, I get it, but that's why you do it.
High popper foul. Morrison chases, but well out of play. It's no 2 strikes. Yeah, that mound out there for a lot of reasons can create problems for infielders coming in toward the mound sometimes, and certainly for pitchers, because everywhere you step is foreign territory to what you normally do.
That's why when you get those double play opportunities where the ball's hit right back to you, you try to get as close to up on top of that. You know you got to get rid of the ball quickly, but you try to get at least some decent footing, and Austin Pruitt was at an odd angle there, but that's where you have to throw it from. And there was just a little bit of, it looked just overcompensation as he's almost leaning down, trying to throw back to second base.
So the leadoff walk has turned into a run for Boston. Devers at first. Two. So Moreland on deck there. 2-2. Base hit, shot the other way. A fastball up to second goes Devers. So the inning continues, and Mitch Moreland will get a chance to bat here in this inning. Jim Hickey's going to go to the mound as this inning has become somewhat extended.
Xander Bogaerts, that good approach right there. The ball that's away, doesn't try to pull it. He's got room to work with over there on the right side and just slashes it through. Jim Hickey out there, you know, you've got an inning that's gone a little bit long. You also have a missed opportunity in the double play not being turned. Just make sure that you give Austin Pruitt a little bit of a blow and get him up and ready to close this inning out.
Yeah, and that's an important part of that, giving him a chance to catch his breath. It's 24 pitches now. He'd made 33 pitches over the first 3 innings, 24 here in a relatively small amount of time in the 4th inning. Now Mitch Moreland. It's a strike at the knees. Pulling off that changeup and out in front. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Pruitt had an outing against the Red Sox back in the middle of April at Fenway when the Rays scored 10 runs, had a big lead, and he had some issues against them. Gave up 8 hits and 2 1/3 and 4 runs. Turned a lopsided score into an eventual 10-5 final. There's strike 3 called. Moreland caught looking. 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Boston. Ball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Take a look at both the National and American Leagues yesterday. Bryce Harper becoming the 14th player in Major League history to reach 150 career home runs before the age of 25. He now has 29. Mike Trout picked up his career hit number 1,000 on his 26th birthday. Two young players you would certainly pay to see, Trout and Harper. Here's Peter Borges. Borges, one of 4 strikeouts recorded by Sale the first time through the lineup. Braves looking for their first base runner. And the pitch, changeup is fouled. Strike 1. Followed with a fastball and a strike call.
You're getting that call up and in on the heater. That makes it extremely difficult.
And a cut and a miss, so you've got to do that.
Yeah,
that second strike forced the swing on that one.
Well, you just, if you're going to get that call to put you at an 0-2 count where it's up and in, and now you're forced to cover everything. Go right up out of the zone, and Chris Sale's smart enough. I don't have to make this a strike. I make it appear to be a strike, get it up close to his eyes and see what I can do, but you put the hitter on the defensive on getting a close pitch like that.
This one breaks in and catches the corner for a strike.
You go to Peter Borges, started him off with a changeup. Now he starts Plouffe off with a backdoor breaking ball.
And another one chopped down to third. Throw to first, and Moreland cannot dig it out. There's going to be an error charged to Devers on the throw.
I'll tell you, all too familiar refrain for the Boston Red Sox, who have had so much trouble with the third base position. Feel like it's in good hands now with Devers and also Eduardo Nunez. Gets to that ball, and now you just got to make the throw. Just kind of short arms it. Doesn't really put anything into it, and forces Moreland to try to make a tough pick.
Devers' second error. This is his 12th game down there. Now Evan Longoria hits with a runner aboard. And he lofts one into right center field. Bradley Jr. over there for it, makes the catch. It's the second out. So Plouffe still at first. Logan Morrison coming up.
Second time through the lineup. First pitch changeup to Borges. First pitch breaking ball backdoor to Plouffe. First pitch changeup to Evan Longoria, who has been extraordinarily aggressive. In fact, he's seen 2 pitches tonight. And Chris Sale's not going to give in with that early fastball. A little bit of a different look, and this is what we talk about with Chris Sale pitching. He's just not brain dead. Here's my great stuff. I'm going to pound the fastball and the slider. He has an idea what he's doing out there.
Morrison misses the fastball. Strike 1. Yeah, you never know what that first pitch is going to be with him.
And that's why, whatever your game plan is, you have to stay disciplined and not allow him to take you out of it until you get to 2 strikes. And that's hard to do because he is going to give you a lot of different looks.
Oh, 2. A fastball. It's a menacing look out there.
And he's got the numbers to back it up.
Yes, he does. The number is a big part of the menacing look. And a swing and a miss. Fastball 98. Fired it up and strikes out Logan Morrison. We go to the 5th. 1-0 Boston.
Bottom of the first inning, a changeup by CC Sabathia deep into right center field. Give the Blue Jays an early lead, and then guess what? Bottom of the third, he gets another pitch working its way in, hammers it down the left field line. That would give the Blue Jays a 4-1 lead. They're now in the bottom of the fourth. CC Sabathia, 3 innings, 57 pitches, already out of that game.
Yeah, and Sabathia in his last 5 outings had an earned run average pushing 5, and a tough one tonight against the Blue Jays. Sandy Leon grounds the first pitch here in the 5th inning to Robertson at second, and he's thrown out. 1 pitch, 1 out in a 1-0 game.
Well, that's how these managers are going to manage too. When you think about the Yankees have a deep bullpen, and if it's well rested and you're a starter struggling the first 3-4 innings, your leash is short and they're getting you out of there. We've seen Kevin Cash do it on a number of different occasions, and that's just the way it's going to go. You're going to almost manage these games like they're playoff games in August.
Jackie Bradley Jr. takes a strike.
You can't do that every night. You run your pen into the ground, but on certain nights, guys are in with certain starters in your rotation. Not every starter in your rotation will be, treated the same.
Boston has had a little run, and they have built a 3-game lead on the Yankees, 5.5 up on the Rays. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We've talked all year about the need for a team, if they can put a little run together, they can start to separate themselves. The Red Sox have won 8 of their last 10. That's the kind of thing the Rays have been looking for, and still think they have the personnel to do that. Right now, the Red Sox are on one of those runs. And I think after everything the Rays have done, they've stocked the bullpen. They feel good about that. You want to score as many runs as you can right back to the mound, and Pruitt handles this one 2 gone. Kevin Cash was saying the other day he still believes that starting pitching will determine what happens to the Rays. You've got to get quality innings from your starters. Then the depth in that bullpen, you can work that the way you want it. And an extra run or 2 from your offense wouldn't hurt either.
No, we'll throw that in there for sure as a helper. But when you look at it, these 2 teams right here are the top 2 teams in the American League for innings pitched from their starting rotation. So they're getting the length better than anybody else in the league. You just got to continue to do that. And you're right, it ends up making what is, turns out to be a thicker bullpen for the Rays and a very good bullpen for the Red Sox. It makes it even that much better.
So stay tuned. It could be a lot of fun here. The last couple months of this season, Nunez pops it up. The 0-1 pitch. Morrison going to run out of room. Almost needed a ticket to get into that seat in the first row, but it's about 4 rows back and out of reach. Good effort by Morrison. Ground ball, and that's going to be up the line. Pass Plouffe toward the left field corner. Smith will play the carom and come back down the line toward third with a throw. And Nunez is on for the 3rd time. 2 doubles now in this game.
Loving the playoff chase. Boy, got that ball and yanked it right up the line. Quick hands on the inside. We've seen him go up the right field line. Now we see him pulling the left field line. Has also had a hit to center field. So he is an equal opportunity offender when it comes to the part of the field.
Yeah, 3 for 3 tonight. A single sandwiched in between the 2 doubles in opposite directions in this ballpark. There's Dustin Pedroia. Pitch is wide. 2-0. Foul ball, that's out of play. Right back, 2-1 now. Well, Pruitt has been every bit tonight what he has been in previous outings. He's throwing strikes and coming right after hitters.
With a good idea, pitching to both sides of the plate. He's changing speeds. We've seen, you know, a number of sliders, curveballs, now some changeups being mixed in. Another guy who needs to pitch and needs to pitch into good areas like that.
Boy, that's a great pitch right there. It had Pedroia shaking his head.
Dustin Pedroia, this is the part of the strike zone that he will give up until 2 strikes. That ball is at the kneecaps. It's on the outside corner. They don't get much better.
2-2 now. 2 outs. Nunez off second. Fly ball center field. Borges right there for it to retire the side. Rays coming in to hit in the bottom of the 5th. Steven Souza Jr. will lead it off. Great moment, and we don't have to go back so far. The walk-off home run Sunday against the Brewers in the 9th inning on a 1-0 pitch. Powers it out to left. First walk-off home run for the Rays since May the 22nd of 2014 when Sean Rodriguez hit one out. Steven Souza Jr. gave the Rays the win in that final game of the series against the Milwaukee Brewers. 1-0 the count here to Souza. Sale again starts that one somewhere near first base and it breaks over.
That's spin, baby. Spin rate.
Spin indeed. He's thrown 3 or 4 of those that seem impossible. This one just coming in on the hands. That fastball's foul back.
Think about how tightly he has to spin the breaking ball when you consider the fact that he's throwing from the third base side of the rubber. And so he's starting the pitch off the plate away and spinning it back to the outside corner. I mean, even though you create somewhat of an angle, that is still extremely difficult to do.
The geometry of that is almost a triangle. If you think about release point to where the ball then starts to break toward the plate, he creates a triangle, geometrically speaking, and he gets strike 3 call right here.
There was a study commissioned about the same time that they started studying the bats, the broken bats, about his backdoor breaking ball, and we're still waiting on that too.
Yeah.
Maybe they're coming out at the same time.
That'd be good. Yeah, it's called the Chris Sale hypotenuse study.
Yeah.
The geometry of watching him pitch is amazing.
Like right
it's
there.
Just like that. Way to go. I love it.
Well, you're the one that you led me down the path, and we just showed it.
Yeah. That's what he's done on some pitches. It's impossible, it seems.
I'll show you another one. No. They're going to take away the telestrator, especially after I skip that mandatory class.
There's a liner into center field. Ramos has a base hit, and the Rays have their first hit tonight. You know, Ramos getting this hit, we're talking about how determined Chris Sale is, and a bad outing his last time. Remember the last time the Rays faced him here, they beat him 4-1, and they did it on a home run by Borges in the 5th inning and a 2-run home run by Ramos in the 6th. He went on to pitch 7. But Jake Faria made that start and got the win and beat Chris Sale. And you know that was also on his mind when he thought about this start. Tapper foul by Echeverria. He doesn't need a lot, though, to inspire him when he goes out there.
No.
That's his makeup.
Yeah, that's what the great ones do. They're self-motivated. You know, you realize as a starter, you're out there once a week. You know, every 5 days. If there's an off day, every 6 days. And so the opportunities are limited. In fact, you're going to get ready for a season. And if you make every single start, you're going to play 32 or 33 times over a 6-month span. So all of those starts mean something. I mean a ton. And so you don't get that many.
He comes tight right there off the plate. 2-1.
Well, this is when you come tight with that fastball, and then you start thinking about that backdoor breaking ball, and you try to get Echeverria reaching for it and hit you a ground ball, and that's how he manipulates that strike zone. There it is. Yeah, listen, a fastball that's in off the plate, you stand a guy up, you make him aware of 96 in, then you start a breaking ball off the plate away. It just, I mean, he was late on that breaking ball. Just a little bit, you know, tardy underneath. Now maybe he's trying to let that ball travel and shoot at the right field, which is the right play. But those are two pitches back to back that are just so tough to handle.
Full count now.
Well, you hope for another miss like that, either out over the plate where Echeverria can handle it, or you get a walk and now start to piece together an inning.
Ramos at first, 1 out, 3-2 the count on Echeverria. Pops it up. That's a foul ball headed out of play. And a foul ball. Pretty good cut on the fastball there. I tell you, Echeverria has had 2 very good at bats against Sale. Grounded out his first time after a long at bat when he ran the count full. Full count right now. And a fly ball back into right field. Betts toward the line, making the catch, 2 away. Well, Echeverria battled him. Betts caught the fly ball.
Well, Chris Sale has shown the ability when he has gotten into those bad counts or deep counts, able to come back and throw strikes. A guy that came in, we talked about the number of strikeouts, and that number continues to grow. What doesn't grow is this number right here. And he came in with just 28 walks on the season. And nothing here tonight. Does not hurt himself on top of everything else.
Robertson cutting the miss, strike one. It's 1-1. Two. Slider again in there to get the jump.
It's been 3 straight breaking balls. See if he tries to come in with a fastball here, up and away. He really can go in any direction he feels like.
Lifts it foul. That's hit it out of play.
That's the one you've got to be careful with, because he's trying to get that fastball in, and he has had trouble with that pitch here tonight. We've seen a couple of them stick in there, and then a number of them end up anywhere from up and away. That pitch was middle, and that's the one where all of a sudden one of those Rays hitters, you can envision him catching it clean and doing some damage here.
One and two, and a foul ball. The fastball. Well, that's what Ramos did when he hit that 2-run home run when the Rays beat him 4-1. Ramos with a base hit here in this inning.
When you start getting later into the game and you're going to come with that fastball in, you better get it in there, or someone's going to jump you. Someone's going to get you.
Two, and that's fouled back. Well, he had the slider the first half of this at bat. Fastball here after getting to 1 and 2.
Switch gears and go back soft. You've definitely got Robertson in swing mode. You've definitely sped him up. See if he doesn't try to slow things down here and finish off this AB. He will.
And a tapper back, leaping grab by Sale, and he throws out Robertson. No runs with a hit, and a man left on base. Chris Sale has worked through 5 and has allowed the Rays no runs, 1 hit. It's 1-0 Boston. Rays pitchers strike out 10 hitters during a home game. Visit CanesStrikeout.com and pick up a print a voucher to take to any Canes furniture store within 7 days and receive a coupon for a free Whopper sandwich combo meal from Burger King. We go to the 6th inning. The only run came in the 4th on what very well may have been a double play ball, but the throw from Pruitt back to Echeverria was to the shortstop side of the bag, preventing the completion of that potential double play, and on that a run scored. That's been it tonight. 1-0 the count to Andrew Benintendi leading off the Boston 6th. There's a strike.
I think the tone of this game was set in the top of the 1st. Second pitch of the game double. Pedroia moves him over to 3rd, and then Austin Pruitt went to work, kept Boston off the scoreboard, and that's really the formula that we've had here for the first 5 innings of this game.
Benintendi singled in the 4th. Now ahead 3-1 in the count. This will be the 80th pitch of the game for Pruitt. Three and two.
The ability to make quality pitches and throw quality strikes behind in the count. 3-1 fastball here. I'm going to give you a 3-1 fastball, but I'm going to put it at your knees on the outside corner. That's what Pruitt's been able to do.
Strike 3 call. Benintendi thought he'd drawn the walk. Has a parting word with Pat Hoberg. He's called out on strikes right there.
Plenty of the plate, and it's right there, right at the bottom. Too close to take. Not in a game like this where the pitchers are dictating the action.
Pruitt comes back from a 3-1 count to pick up the strikeout. That's a big out to open the inning.
Yeah, you cannot allow Boston anything else. Not in this one.
And the first pitch strike on the corner to Betts. Base hit into right. Betts has his first hit. And the Red Sox have a base runner. 6 hits in the game.
Change up away, a little bit of elevation, and that allows Betts to stay right on it. Got a good read on that pitch and just shoots it the other way.
Rafael Devers, he got credit for the run batted in the 4th inning. And a big cut on the fastball there. Strike 1.
He's got a quick bat. That swing, he really tried to lay into that pitch. A little bit of cutting action on that fastball and just gets it over. The all or nothing swing from Devers.
Betts back in. Alvarado, the big lefty, up in the bullpen for the Rays. High fly ball. Smith and left calling for it. He's got it. 2 gone. The big second out in the 6th inning. With Betts still at first.
And we'll see if Boston elects to try to get him in motion here. Looking to create something. Both of these pitchers have been very stingy with what little they've given up. Sometimes you got to try to take something.
first. Back in. Here's Betts.
Betts leads the way on this team with 17 steals.
He's been caught just 3 times. Bogart's waiting for the first pitch, and he takes it in for a strike.
Well, the opposition 7 for 7 off of Austin Pruitt, and you see he doesn't have a huge leg kick in going towards the plate out of the stretch, but he does have a little bit of a hesitation, and that's what allows you, if you get a great jump. The guys that have gone have been successful.
And that's strike 2, and a nice breaking ball. He's made 2 very good pitches here as he closes in on 90. And over to first. Pruitt made 85 pitches in Houston in that game. Made 81 the time before against the Yankees. And that one just missed.
Could have.
Very close there in.
I think Austin Pruitt was assuming he spotted this heater up. He's going to head to the dugout. Thought he got him. Nope. That's okay, because that pitch still serves a purpose. You go right back out away with that little cutter slider.
2-2. Ground ball headed up the middle. Borges will make the pickup. Betts heads to third. He'll arrive ahead of the throw. And the Red Sox have men at first and third. Bogart's second hit of the game.
He did come with that little slider cutter, that ball moving away. That was a breaking ball. See, he wanted that ball in. Wilson Ramos was set up maybe down the middle below the zone. He just kind of yanked it, pulled it, and it stayed up. And middle of the field, another base hit through there. You think about the Red Sox hits tonight. They've had a number of them up the middle, the other way. Nunez has the one pulled down the line, down the third base line, but that's because for the most part Austin Pruitt has stayed middle of the plate, middle away, comes in for effect.
Now Mitch Moreland. There's a fly ball to center and was caught looking on a pitch in the fourth. Fouls that pitch. Breaking ball that stayed up and off the plate a little bit. In 1-1. Red Sox have left 4 men. They have 2 on right now with 2 outs. And that's foul out of play the other way. Conference between Ramos and Pruitt with 2 on, 2 out. Pruitt ahead in the count, a ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. Just went down. The runner headed to second. Bogaerts was breaking on the pitch. That'll be a stolen base. The breaking ball was blocked by Ramos, and Bogaerts heads up to second with a steal. He's 11 of 12 now in that department. Now 2 men are in scoring position with a 2-2 count. Suddenly this becomes the pitch of the game right now. And he strikes him out. Cut the miss on the breaking ball. We're going to go into the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still 1-0 Boston. Well, we've got a great game going on here tonight. It's a 1-0 contest. The Rays dealing with Chris Sale through 5 innings. He has been untouchable with the exception of a base hit by Wilson Ramos in the 5th inning. 7 strikeouts along the way. This led to the only run on what turned out to be a fielder's choice. Rays thought they had gotten the double play ball, but that feed back from the mound to second to Echeverria was to the shortstop side of the bag. So it's a 1-0 Boston lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. And boy, what a night for that young man right there, Austin Pruitt. Another superb outing. And now we go to the bottom of the 6th. Malik Smith looking to bunt.
What Austin Pruitt did was he focused on what was in front of him, not who was taking the mound when he goes to the bench. He focused on the Boston lineup, and there were times where he bent a little bit but did not break. Tremendous outing and another big spot for this team. And I'll tell you what, you're watching the youngster grow up quite a bit.
Boy, I'll tell you, to pitch that game against Houston, not because he was facing Keuchel, but because of that offense. And here tonight, he matches up against Sale. He's in a 1-0 game and made some great pitches. 6 innings, 95 pitches for him. Gave up that 1 run.
Now he set that tone in the 1st inning. The leadoff double. It seemed a foregone conclusion. Boston's probably going to score that run. They did not, and he would just take it from there. Needs a little bit of help now.
Well, the Rays got the base hit from Ramos. And another base runner reach on an error. It's a popper into short left, and Benintendi's there already to make the catch. So an outstanding evening for Austin Pruitt.
Here he is making a big pitch. Mookie Betts getting Sandy Leon on the fastball. The pickoff right here of Eduardo Nunez, who the one guy that had Austin Pruitt figured out, but then he picked him off. Another nice pitch there to Benintendi. Full count changeup. That breaking ball right there. That was the biggest one so far with runners aboard and a 2-2 count.
And there's a strike to Peter Borges. Borges homered off Chris Sale when he pitched against the Rays back here in July. He had a home run that gave the Rays the lead. A solo shot in the 5th inning of that game made it 2-1. Ground ball. There's a base hit in between short and third. And Borges is aboard, a 1-out single. Only the 2nd hit for the Rays.
Just rolls over that ball down in the strike zone and just pops it through the hole. Got speed aboard now, a 1-run game.
Trevor Plouffe is up here. Plouffe 0 for 2, reached on Devers' throwing error earlier. Borges draws a throw. High popper up the right side. Moreland starts after it in the direction of the bullpen and cannot grab it. And it's back to the infield. And you'll see him make that play, but not this time. That's a difficult play to make. And that's a no play as it turns out, and a foul ball.
Yeah, that's such a tough angle when the ball's moving away from you and you're trying to catch it at this angle back to the infield, and he gets underneath it but doesn't get the thumb all the way underneath it, and that ball rolls right out. Let's see if the Rays can turn that into something.
One and one. Now 2-1. Plouffe came into this game hitting a little over 280 against left-handed pitching, but he is facing the superb end of the left-handed pitching strata right now. Two-1. Ball 2-2.
You know, he has had trouble with that pitch tonight. That fastball he's trying to come in with. He's got some swings and misses. He's had some misses out over the plate, but he has not been consistently able to get the fastball in on these right-handed hitters, and you feel like at some point somebody's going to make him pay. They've had some opportunities. Boy, you got to try to cash in. You have a chance to snatch this game away from Chris Sale, as good as he's been.
Tapper foul. Borges got the base hit through the hole on the left side with 1 out in the 6th. Plouffe reached on an error in the 4th. Ramos singled in the 6th, and Borges single has put him aboard here in the 6th inning. Cut and a miss. Plouffe Out on strikes. That's number 8. Ball biting down and in to Blue.
Yeah, he took this slider here to another level. So many times this pitch has ended up middle of the plate or outer edge. He yanks it all the way down and in. A couple different versions. That's been his best offering of the night. The slider has really won the day so far.
Here's Evan. He's seen 2 pitches tonight. And takes this one down and in.
His body language said that I'm going to see at least 4. He was taking that pitch all the way.
Grounded out to first. Lifted a fly ball to right center. Caught by Bradley Jr.
All bets are off now.
It's a 1-0 count. This one stays wide. One of the few that we've seen approach the plate in that manner.
Yeah, no, he got underneath that slider. It slipped out. You know, he's thrown so many pitches here tonight at high leverage and high intensity. You wonder if there's just a little bit of fatigue that starts to set in, and you miss a couple of locations here. And then you come back with that. So no,
it's right on the edge.
Yeah,
really.
That's
2-0. I'm going to make this pitch.
Right. That's, you know, Austin Prue was doing the same thing. You fall in and you get yourself into a bad count, and then you're able to come up with a high quality strike, not just a strike, but a good one.
And strike 2.
Wow.
Count squares on 2 very good pitches.
Made the adjustment. Evan Longoria feeling good about a 2-0 count, and you get 2 of those pitches. Now you gotta battle.
Rolls it up the right side on a pitch moving in on him.
He tried that slider that he got Trevor Plouffe with.
Two gone. Borges aboard. Longoria fouls it back. A fastball. Well, he may have had his best cut of the night right there.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Now, what are you looking for now? 2 strikes, you got to try to cover anything. I wonder if Evan is starting to think they're going to try to climb again, or no. See, I love when catchers do that, and you know, Ramos, Sucre does it a lot. Is they'll call for a pitch, they'll show you their glove, like right there. Leon kind of threw his glove up, like, hey, elevate this pitch. I want the fastball elevated, and then he goes back down, and Chris Sale throws a break at him. Watch Sandy Leon, okay? Up here, up here.
A little subterfuge.
That's it. Just in case there's anybody whistling, anybody trying to give Evan Longoria any kind of a hint.
One nothing ball game. 2-2 to Longoria, man aboard. And a cut and a miss on the fastball. Up and away on that fastball, and the Rays leave a man at first after picking up a 1-out single. A strikeout pitch from Sale. 1-0 Boston. brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 1-0 ball game. We're moving into the 7th inning. And the Rays will make the pitching change. 6 innings for Austin Pruitt. And Jose Alvarado will take over on the mound.
Well, Alvarado on for the 24th time. 20 1/3 innings of work. You're at the bottom of the order. Sandy Leon going to turn him around right-handed. But you've got the big fastball, the big slider, and you certainly hope for the command that he had the other night through the immaculate inning.
Well, here's Leon, a strikeout and a ground out. And the fastball away. Well, for the 4th straight game, the Rays get from their starters 6 innings and 1 earned run allowed. There's a strike, 1-1.
Taking consistency to a new level.
Yep, Archer Sunday, 6 innings, a run on 3 hits. Saturday, Cobbs, 6 innings, 1 run on 5 hits. Jake Faria Friday, 6 innings, 1 run on 4 hits. 2-1 to Leon. Austin Pruitt tonight, 6 innings, 1 run, 7 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 5. 95 pitches, 62 for strikes. That is a check swing, and the count goes to 3-1. Jackie Bradley Jr. is on deck. Eduardo Nunez will follow. High fly ball toward the line and left. Smith trying to track it, keeping his eye on it, and he makes the catch about 4 or 5 feet fair. Towering down the left field line. 1 away. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Rays baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Jackie Bradley Jr. 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball toward the middle. Echeverria up, turns, throws, safe at first. Great effort by Echeverria on the ball up the middle. Got there, had to turn to get the throw away, bounced it in, and just not in time.
Well, you had Jackie Bradley Jr. first of all from the left side. The ball not hit that hard. Echeverria had to go a long way, and all of those factors combined. Bradley Jr. enough speed to get there and beat it out for a hit, but Echeverria giving it everything he had.
Well, Kevin Cash will utilize the bullpen more tonight. That's going to be it for Alvarado. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. 7th inning. Get a $6 value for $5 when you ask for a grouper from the Florida Lottery. With so many life-changing prizes, get your group ready. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Sergio Romo, the new Rays pitcher, 3rd of the night now. He's on to face Eduardo Nunez. First pitch too high. Nunez 3 for 3 tonight. He's in there, a strike. 1-1. Nunez 1 of 3 in his career against Romo, and that hit was a home run. Also has a walk. Runner back in, Bradley Jr. over there. Bradley reached on the infield hit. It's away. Now 2-1.
Sergio Romo gives you a little bit of a different look coming out of that Rays bullpen. That fastball, while not overpowering, he does a nice job of spotting that pitch. He's got, of course, the slider, and he will change the scope and the break on that pitch, how big or how small.
There's a shot back into left field. Smith back to the track, will have room, and he makes the catch. And all the way to third base is Bradley Jr. and the Rays are going to get a double play. Wow, how about that? Romo gives up the fly ball to the track and left, caught by Smith, and Bradley Jr. is doubled off first. Take a look at this. Bradley doubled off on this long drive to left.
Well, Bradley Jr. was off and running with contact. Not sure if he assumed it was a home run or if he thought there were 2 outs. That would lead you to believe that he thought that there were 2 outs and he was going. And then he comes here and realizes, what are they doing? Well, they're doubling you off. And that's going to end the inning.
Smith, Robertson to Morrison on the double play. Well, let's see if the Rays can take advantage of that. Ending the top of the 7th. Now they'll send Logan Morrison to the plate to begin the bottom of the 7th against Chris Sale. It's down. Morrison, Souza Jr. and Ramos due up. Too low, 2-0. No strike count. Sale went 3-2 to Echeverria a couple times. He's 3-0 here on Morrison, and he walks him. Lead-off walk in the 7th. And it gets Steven Souza Jr. to the plate. Well, Souza Jr. provided the heroics in the final game of that series against the Brewers, hitting the walk-off home run in the 9th. As you probably know, 24 home runs, all of those against right-handed pitching. Now would be a great time for one against a lefty. And boy, would this be something against this left-hander. Going to push the ball up the right side. Throw down to second's going to be in time. Wow. Moreland got the lead runner down at second base.
Boy, oh boy, a nice job by Souza Jr. getting the bunt down, fair territory. You force Moreland to make the play, but that's an aggressive play by Mitch Moreland. He gets to it, the ball was bunted hard, and he comes right up, and a nice throw and feed to Bogarts to get Morrison at second base. An aggressive play there by Mitch Moreland, but Mitch Moreland, one of the best first basemen in the league. Not afraid to do that, especially from the left side.
So he prevents the Rays from moving the runner in that bunt attempt. Wilson Ramos. Souza back in.
How aggressive do the Rays get on the base paths? They'd like to be aggressive when they're ahead in ball games, now trail by a run, and probably would just as soon not give up that run on the bases. Chris Sale's thinking about it.
The foul ball lined up the left side. As we mentioned earlier this year, back in on July 6th, Ramos connected on a fastball, hit it out to left center field, giving the Rays a couple additional runs and a 4-1 eventual victory over the Red Sox and Sale. One strike count right now. Toss to first. Souza Jr. back in. One out. Loves to start. Souza Jr. and the pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate.
I'll tell you that we've seen enough of those here tonight to know that when Chris Sale executes that pitch, there is very little as a hitter that you can do. Maybe you could reach out there and foul it off. Maybe you could poke one the other way, and that's a maybe.
Way wide, and that's going to get Souza down to second. Leon reaching across, trying to corral that one, got his mitt on it, and that was it. Now the Rays have a man in scoring position. This is what they were working for.
Well, just inexplicably hurries the delivery and just never gets to his release point. Body started way too early, tried to rush things, arm side high.
Third wild pitch of the year charged to Sale. Well, this is the first time the Rays have had a man as far as second base tonight. They're trying to snap an 0 for 22 with men in scoring position. And Ramos is out on strikes for the second out here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, but how about this? Great pitch there by Chris Sale. That breaking ball, again, working down and in underneath the swing. But it gets Echeverria to the plate, who's had 2 long at-bats, has seen a lot of pitches from Chris Sale.
Yeah, he's seen 17 pitches in going 0 for 2 against him. Sale now in double figures tonight with 10 strikeouts. And here is Adeiny Echeverria. Takes a strike right at the bottom of the zone.
Well, 18 pitches in, and Echeverria has built up as much of a comfort level with Chris Sale as is possible to have. And let's see if he cannot turn that into something that finds some open territory. Souza Jr. bluffing his start out there at second base, trying to make something happen.
Echeverria back in with a 1-strike count. And a foul ball back. Going after the fastball up a little bit. The count is 0-2. He's got 6 innings from Austin Pruitt. The only run of the game scored. And the Rays could not turn a double play. Pedroia scored on what turned out to be a fielder's choice ground ball hit by Devers. It started back to the mound. Echeverria out on strikes, number 11 for Sale, and the Rays leave a man at second base. We're through 7 at the Trop. 1-0 Boston. Go into the 8th inning. Boston has Dustin Pedroia leading off. Romo's still on the mound for the Rays, and the pitch is upstairs. Romo faced Nunez in the 7th inning and got him on a fly ball to left that turned into a double play. 1-8-1 for Boston, 0-2-0 for the Rays. Sale and Pruitt, the starting pitchers. It's been a dandy here tonight. Pitch is a strike. Takes the count to 1-1. Pedroia has scored the game's only run. He opened the fourth with a walk. Came around to score. Sales made 101 pitches tonight, 11 strikeouts. Now 2-1. We'll say hi to Mike Ferrero, who's for 20 years been here at the Trop. Started as a bat boy with clubhouse guys. He's had a little back surgery, and watching for the first time a game at home, watching our telecast instead of being here at the Trop, and we wish Mike a speedy recovery on that pop foul handled by Plouffe. One away here in the 8th.
How about the streaks? This is the first home game that he's missed in 2 decades.
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, great guy.
Can you imagine how out of his element he is right now?
What am I doing here? The game looks like this. I'm watching the game. It looks like this. I don't know what that's like. Yeah, so we're hoping he'll be out soon and back here at the Trop. Andrew Benintendi. It's a strike. Mike's one of those guys, they work hard, and you never hear from them or about them, but they really contribute a lot to the baseball industry and the experience.
You just hope that they're never taken for granted, because of the hours they put in behind the scenes to make all of this run smoothly for the players and all of that, and you just hope that it's something that's, you know, there's a deep down appreciation for what those guys do, because like you said, it's not in the limelight. No one's going to ever know.
So liner into right, going to drop for a base hit, one big hop, and Souza makes the pickup. So a 1-out single here in the 8th. Be sure and join Brad Boxberger, Raymond, and the Rays street team at 7-Eleven tomorrow at 11 a.m. Games, prizes, and autographs from Brad Boxberger, so don't miss the fun at 7-Eleven at 27219 State Road 54 in Wesley Chapel. There's Mookie Betts. Pitch breaks wide. Ryan Stanek has been up in the bullpen for the Rays. As we play in the 8th. There he is, the hard-throwing right-hander. The toss to first. And Benintendi already headed back to the bag early. Runner goes. Pitch is a strike. The throw sails a bit to the right side of the bag. And Benintendi is in with his 13th stolen base of the year in 16 attempts. And now he is in scoring position.
Well, Sergio Romo a little bit slow to the plate there, and then you get a breaking ball on top of it. That forces Wilson Ramos to get rid of this ball quickly. And you know what? Daniel Robertson diving to keep this ball in the infield. A nice job by the Rays middle infielder, because if that ball finds its way into center field, Benintendi may be at third.
And it's second, 1 out. Betts fouls it back. Betts had the base hit in the 6th. A 1-2 count on Betts. Close right there to square it. Now with a man at second, a reminder, Betts coming into this game is hitting over 400 with men in scoring position. Tops in the American League. Rafael Devers on deck, the young third baseman. swings and misses. Betts out on strikes. Big strikeout for Romo.
Romo ends up pitching Betts backwards, and I'm sure that Betts is looking for a breaking ball here. He gives him 86 up in the zone and just blows it right by him.
Well, here's Devers. Devers with the run batted in. It came on a fielder's choice in the fourth. First pitch strike. Top of the eighth. We've had 9 total runs in 4 games on this homestand. That's for both teams. 0-2.
It is.
The Visitors have 7. The Rays have 2.
It is the World Cup. It's become the World Cup. This is what it's like.
Yep.
The margin for error, you know, it gives you that playoff type feel. Every pitch is big. Everything matters.
The 0-2. Ground ball right side. Robertson up and out with the throw. A man left at second base. We're going to go to the home half of the 8th. 1-0 Boston. Fox Sports Sun brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers.
You ever been to that locale market, D-Wayne?
Yes. Yes. It's a great spot.
Yes, it is.
Yep. Spend a lot of time there. Right there, downtown St. Petersburg. Sale back out to work the 8th inning. He has 101 pitches with 11 strikeouts, 1 walk, allowing no runs and just 2 hits. Daniel Robertson to lead off against the hard-throwing lefty. And there's ball 1. Robertson is struck out and grounded out pitcher first. 1-1. It's Addison Reed up in the bullpen. Pop down the right side toward the line. Betts on the move. 1 away. Tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers will feature the return to the rotation of Jake Odorizzi, and Orestes will break down Red Sox rookie third baseman Rafael Devers, who has the only run batted in this game. Coverage begins at 6:30 tomorrow. There's Malik Smith. And he takes a strike. Another strike to Smith, 0-2.
Well, you see how that just locks up a left-handed hitter. He starts that pitch right at him, and that's Dwayne, that's where your triangle comes into play, and snaps it right back to the middle of the plate. So difficult to hang in there on those pitches.
1 ball, 2 strikes. To hang in there and fouls that one away. Slider. A 1-2 count. 22,328 here tonight. First game of this 2-game set with Boston. And that's strike 3. Alex Smith tried to check, and on the appeal, Andy Fletcher down in third says that's a strike. That's an even dozen strikeouts.
This is Chris Sale's 4th start against the Rays this season, and that's the 4th straight start. He's punched out 12 against the Rays here in 2017. How about that?
He has been dominant. And if you have to face him up there, you know just how tough that is. A bunt attempt by Borges. There you are. 12+ strikeouts of any opponent since 2012. Chris Sale now has 6 of those.
And four of them this year.
Yep.
I mean, that's taking it to another level. He's got a few of those. Seattle, Houston.
Up the right side, foul.
Well, you know what? Here's the other thing. The way that Austin Pruitt was able to battle here tonight against Chris Sale, if everything stays in line, he'll pitch again on Sunday. And who will that be against?
How about that? Corey Kluber.
Right. So you'll have 3 straight starts of Keuchel, Sale, Kluber. The 3 best pitchers in the American League, perhaps.
Oh, strike 3 call. Borges caught looking, number 13. We're going to go to the 9th in a 1-0 game, Boston. AFN, the American Forces Network, 75th year broadcasting to American military personnel overseas in more than 170 countries and naval ships at sea. We welcome you watching tonight. Thank you for your service. Wish you a speedy return to home. And Michael Zuckerberg, a great Rays fan in Lake Worth who watches every night, has been battling illness. Was supposed to take in this homestand, could not. And we wish him all the best in his battle and a better 2018. New pitcher, Ryan Stanek for the Rays. Xander Bogaerts. 1-0 the count to Bogaerts. Ground ball headed toward the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Bogaerts has a 3-hit night, 3 for 4. And the Red Sox put the leadoff man on base.
Well, another hit right back up the middle. A lot of hits up the middle the other way tonight for the Red Sox. And he pops that into the ground, hits it firmly, and chops it up the middle. Going to go right back to work here. He cannot allow Boston to obviously extend this lead whatsoever.
Mitch Moreland. Well, Moreland, a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to center tonight. Ball misses. And a big cut right there. Moreland down after that split, trying to do some lifting. 1-1 the count. Down the left side deep, but it's going to be out of play. All the way to the corner, Smith, but it's into Ducky's Landing out there. Ready to make the play. Did. 1-2 the count. Bogaerts back in. 7 hits off Pruitt, 1 off Alvarado, 1 off Romo, and now 1 off Stanek. 10 hits for Boston. Two and 2. Nunez and Bogaerts, 6 of the 10 hits for the Red Sox. Now a full count.
Going to lay off a couple of those nasty splitters, and Mitch Moreland able to work this count all the way out. And this becomes another huge pitch in this game that's been full of them.
Three-2. Line base hit into right. Souza with the pickup. Bogaerts will go to third. Now the Red Sox have men on the corners. Well, Moreland worked it full and singles into right. And you've got to give him some credit. He did chase one of the splitters, missed it, and then laid off 2 more.
And they got him right back to the fastball.
Yep.
And then showed tremendously quick hands. You know, after seeing those splitters at 90, 91, and then all of a sudden getting that fastball nearing triple digits in, by the way, and Moreland's able to pull the hands through and get the barrel to it. That is a tip of the helmet to Mitch Moreland in that at bat. And now the Rays in some trouble.
Well, the Rays had to bring the infield in to the second hitter in the game. And it's up again with men at first and third, nobody out in the ninth. 1-0. Eduardo Nunez opened with a double back in the first. Pedroia got him to second. And after the second hitter, the infield came up. It's up here in the ninth with 2 men on. And a strike. Fastball, upper part of the zone. 1-1.
Yeah, if you're Sandy Leon, there's no upside to swinging at that pitch. You're going to swing through it. You're going to pop it up. You got to try to get him a little bit further down in the zone. Something that you could try to elevate and get to the outfield. The Rays are looking for contact. If it's on the ground, they're going to be looking to cut Bogaerts down at home if he's going.
And a foul ball back.
That was your shot right there. He hung a split, and it was up enough that Leon could have popped that ball into the outfield. This one stays right there for him. You see him out in front, though. The change of speed got him.
Now Leon stepping back. Leon came into the game hitting .245, but he's had some clutch hits for him, over 300 with men in scoring position. And a cut and a miss. Well, he got him on the split there, and a very big strikeout for the first out in the ninth.
But you are not kidding. This one gets a little bit better finish at the end. That ball just kind of runs a little bit arm side, a little bit of depth.
Well, Boston's now 0 for 11 with men in scoring position in this game, and the Rays have that 0 for 24 streak going with men in scoring position, and it's 1-0 here in the top of the ninth.
Of course, shouldn't it be? I think it should be 0-0.
Yep. Jackie Bradley Jr. and an infield hit in the 7th. Infield stays up way high. 1 ball, no strikes. One of those splits that popped out of the hand. Two and 0. The count. There's a strike on the corner. Came with the fastball at 98 miles per hour. Now 2-1. Heat. 2-2. '88 to 98 from Stanek.
And this is what stuff does for you. You can get yourself into this first and third situation with nobody out and have a chance to pitch yourself out of it.
2-2. And a base hit into center. That's going to score a run. Bogaerts crosses the plate. Bradley's RBI single sends Moreland to second. And it's 2-0 Boston.
Well, Jackie Bradley Jr., a guy that the Rays have had a ton of success against. He's come up with a couple of hits in this ball game and none bigger than this one here. The fastball down and in, shortens the swing and just gets the bat to the ball. How about that? Another hit right back up the middle. Boston has worn out the middle of the field tonight.
And that's more their style now, their offensive style.
Yeah.
They came into the game last in home runs in the league. 4th in runs scored. They have 2 runs tonight, including this one here in the 9th, and now it's Eduardo Nunez with Moreland at second and Bradley Jr. at first. No ball, no strikes. That was the split that went up and in. Blue Jays batting in the bottom of the 8th, leading the Yankees 4-2. Home runs in that game by Josh Donaldson, accounting for all of the Toronto runs. Home runs 14 and 15 for Donaldson. Fly ball and to right. Souza is there. He'll make the catch. Moreland remains at second. 2 gone. Reminder coming up on Rays Live, the post game presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Orestes will be discussing Chris Sale and his dominance again. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and Alex Cordry, who gather interviews from the clubhouse. Rays started the night tied with Kansas City for the second wild card spot. The Royals trailed the Cardinals 7-3 in Kansas City in the top of the 5th inning. Here the Rays are down 2-0. We're in the top of the 9th. A strike the count on Dustin Pedroia. It's wide, 1-1. Headed out of play. 2-2. The Rays in the bottom of the 9th will have Plouffe, Longoria, and Morrison due up. Kimbrel has been throwing in the bullpen down the left field line for Boston. It's popped up. Foul ball will carry out a play. There's Kimbrel.
Having a dominant season here for the Red Sox coming out of that bullpen. This is a bullpen that leads all of Major League Baseball coming into play in ERA.
He had a run there where he actually gave up a couple runs. People thought he was coming back to earth. He's still plenty tough out there.
I saw an article. Should Boston be worried?
Yeah.
Because the guy he's a human being. It's a long season. He's going to give up some runs. That's the way it goes.
Yep.
But that's how good he's been. That little stretch and people can lose their minds and panic.
Ground ball chopped to third. Plouffe gets the force to retire the side. They limit the damage to 1 run. Rays need 2 to tie, 3 to win it. Down 2-0.
The Red Sox 2-0 as we head into the bottom of the 9th inning. And it's because of this man right here, and Chris Sale, we knew that he'd be motivated coming out here tonight. And boy, he was outstanding. The Rays did not threaten very much against him. Just 2 hits. He walked 1, 13 punch-outs. The slider was huge for him tonight. He was able to reach back, grab a couple extra miles per hour on the fastball when needed, and he will leave this game after those 8 shutout innings and hand it over to Craig Kimbrell, who looks to close it out.
Well, how about this? As we take a look at Kimbrell's numbers, 3-0 and 27 of 31 in save situations, and earned an average on the year of 151. The Red Sox come in here on a night in which they were 1 of 14 with men in scoring position, and they lead 2-0. And here's Kimbrell to face Lucas Duda, who will pinch hit for Plouffe. And a strike on the swing and miss. Yeah, I think Kimbrell's ERA actually hit 3 during that short time that some people thought he was struggling. But this guy has had an unbelievable year. More of the same from him. And strike 2 to Duda. 97.
At the top of the zone, coming from the arm angle that Kimbrell delivers those pitches at. Well, it's tough. You saw him try to get on top of that first one to no avail. Let that one go and it gets called.
Foul right back, out of play. 2 strikes. Forget tomorrow, the Wednesday showdown driven by GMC. Rick Porcello on the hill for Boston, 5 and 14, and Jake Odorizzi comes off the DL, 6 and 4. We'll be with you. Our coverage begins at 6:30. Too high. Longoria will be next.
Well, you need a base runner somehow, some way. Give yourself a chance here tonight.
Cut and a miss, 98 up. 14th strikeout for Boston pitching.
Well, he just continued to pop the top of the zone and maybe a little above it. Look how he rides that ball up there, and Lucas Duda does his very best to try to get up there to it, but that pitch let her high.
Now Evan Longoria. Evan 0 for 3. Ball, no strikes. One and one. Evan 1 of 6 in his career against Kimbrell. He lays off the breaking stuff again. 2 and 1. That'll be a strike. Down around the knees, 2-2.
How about these last 2 ABs? Against Lucas Duda, it's nothing but 97, 98 at the top of the zone and above. And here against Evan Longoria, it's nothing but breaking stuff at the bottom of the zone.
right back. He got a fastball. It was at 99.
And Evan was right on it. He's not going to let one of those go by. Boy, oh boy.
Swing and a miss. 98. Back-to-back strikeouts after the first 4 pitches where that knuckle curve went to the hard stuff, and 98 finishes the at-bat.
Hey, look where it's at, too. Right at the top of the strike zone. You know, you think about the 2 guys the Rays have seen here tonight. That's why they're elite. Chris Sale and Craig Kimbrell. Elite plus stuff. And boy, do they know how to pitch. Kimbrell execute, locates, down with the breaking stuff, up with the heater, not missing his spots, not missing out over the middle of the plate.
2 gone, bases empty. Here's Logan Morrison. That's a strike. Cut and a miss. Well, if this game ends the way it is, Sale's going to win his 14th. Take over the American League win lead with 14. Priscilla, who pitches tomorrow, leads the majors in losses with 14. 2 strikes the count to Logan Morrison. Here it is, way high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rays have had 2 hits and a walk tonight. That was it off Chris Sale in 8 innings. Swing and a miss. This game is all over. Kimbrell strikes out the side. 16 strikeouts for Boston pitching. And the Rays drop the first game of this 2-game set. It's 2-0 Boston. Sale now 14-4. Pruitt, the loser, 6-3. Took 2:52 to play it. Kimbrell picks up his 28th save before 22,328. For Brian Anderson and Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. Rays live the postgame presented by WB Mason comes your way next.